On behalf of the FASS Science Policy Committee, I'd like to welcome you back to Day 2 of the SPC Symposium entitled The 2023 Farm Bill, Perspectives and Priorities for Animal Research. For those of you who didn't join us yesterday, allow me just a moment to explain who we are and our objectives in organizing this symposium. The Science Policy Committee of FASS advocates for science-based policy making, increased funding for animal agriculture research, and the importance of animal science and animal scientists in ensuring humane, sustainable, profitable, and safe animal food production. The Science Policy Committee consists of 8 to 12 volunteer members who serve a 3-year term on the committee. Members may be from scientific organizations involved in animal and animal product research, teaching, and extension, such as ADSA, ASAS, PSA, AMSA, and others. Members from both industry and academia are most welcome. We help communicate science policy to decision makers and assist regulators and legislators in making decisions based on scientifically sound information from our respective organizations. Conversations regarding reauthorization of the Farm Bill in 2023 have already begun. Farm and commodity groups have met with their representatives to discuss the current bill and propose changes and improvements for 2023. The SNAP program, the largest portion of the Farm Bill, accounting for more than 75% of overall appropriations, will be reviewed by USDA prior to markup of the 2023 bill. Conservation programs being debated today could see implementation of new ideas, including ideas such as a carbon bank to benefit farmers as well as to move the U.S. toward a more carbon-neutral economy. And finally, Ag Research Extension and Related Matters, that is, Title VII, initiatives are being considered for the 2023 Farm Bill. More immediately, increased funding of nearly $8 billion is being considered for USDA, including NIFA and ARS, as well as minority-serving institutions and other initiatives are part of the President's Build Back Better initiative. If this increased funding is ultimately approved, the potential for continued funding in the 2023 bill is a real opportunity. Making the case for continued and increased ag research funding is essential, and arguments need to be made in practical, understandable terms. In a recent podcast regarding reauthorization of the Farm Bill in 2023, Mr. John Doggett of the National Corn Growers Association stated it this way: "We need to articulate how farm programs benefit the American taxpayer, not just farmers. We have to show the efficacy and need for resilient farm programs that keep agriculture in this country alive." So, how does ag research benefit American taxpayers? The traditional answer has been that an investment of $1 in agricultural research funding has been shown to return more than $20 to the U.S. economy. While this is compelling in the abstract, perhaps more practical improvements in our daily lives could be more meaningful. Here's a list of how ag research can improve the lives of every American, published by SOAR, the supporters of agricultural research. They include strengthening the U.S. economy, creating jobs, and increasing profitability; protecting public health by enhancing the nutrition, affordability, and safety of food; improving soil, air, and water quality; discovering new treatments and cures to disease; and contributing to the security and stability of all nations. Because the 2018 Farm Bill will be reauthorized in 2023, the FASS Science Policy Committee considered this symposium as an opportunity to foster communication among ADSA members with government and industry representatives involved in establishing priorities and funding levels within the Farm Bill. Each of us has an opportunity to provide input into how the Farm Bill will ultimately be shaped and the priorities and funds available. Our 2-day symposium is divided into 2 1.5-hour sessions. The first, yesterday, addressed perspectives and priorities, primarily from a governmental perspective. Today we'll provide perspectives from allied industry groups, including the AVMA, Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities, and, of course, ADSA. We hope these presentations will prompt a vigorous debate among the ADSA membership and encourage each member to contact their representatives in Washington. Your input is critically important to the process. Don't underestimate your voice in our representative government. Today's presentations regarding priorities for the 2023 Farm Bill will bring perspectives from the AVMA, APLU, and, of course, ADSA. Now I'd like to introduce our speakers for today's session, including Drs. Ed Murphey and Dr. Mark Lutschaunig, Ms. Karen Gala, and Dr. Paul Kindstedt. Following our recorded video presentations, speakers from yesterday and today will join live for a roundtable discussion, beginning at 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time. If you have questions, please send them via the chat function prior to the end of the recorded sessions. We will compile all questions and ask as many as possible during the roundtable. Dr. Ed Murphey earned his veterinary degree at The Ohio State University and became board certified in equine veterinary surgery with stints on the faculty at Purdue, Washington State, and the University of Georgia Colleges of Veterinary Medicine. He earned his PhD in experimental pathology at the University of Texas Medical Branch and remained on faculty there for 10 years, researching dysregulation of innate immune function after major injuries. He is presently in his third career as a veterinarian, working as the AVMA staff consultant for a number of committees, including the American Board of Veterinary Specialties, the Educational Commission for Foreign Veterinary Graduates, and the AVMA Council on Research. Dr. Mark Lutschaunig is the Director of Government Relations Division for the American Veterinary Medical Association based in Washington, D.C. Prior to joining the GRD, Dr. Lutschaunig spent 6 years as Manager of Professional Communications for Nestle Purina Pet Care Company in St. Louis. In addition, Dr. Lutschaunig was the manager of Alpo Pet Foods Animal Nutrition Research Center and spent 4 years in clinical small animal practice. Dr. Lutschaunig holds a VMD degree from the University of Pennsylvania and an MBA from DeSales University. Dr. Lutschaunig oversees the association's federal advocacy efforts in Washington. Karen Gala is the Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities Director of Government Affairs on Agriculture and International Development. Prior to coming to APLU, Karen accumulated over a decade of experience in directing government relations for agricultural economics, agronomy, crop, and soil science societies. Along with members of these science societies, Karen develops strategic initiatives in big data, climate change, ecosystem services, and rural energy issues. Her work cultivated funding and programmatic support for basic and applied food and agricultural research, as well as related education, training, and the cooperative extension system. At APLU, in her role supporting the Board on Agriculture Assembly, Karen serves as Executive Director of the Council for Agricultural Research, Extension, and Teaching. Karen works with the Council on Governmental Affairs members on federal funding accounts related to agricultural, food, and natural resource issues. She engages with congressional contacts both on and off congressional committees to advance advocacy goals. In coordination with APLU vice presidents and CGA members, she manages engagement with the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy and many other parts of the federal government. Paul S. Kindstedt, a professor in the Department of Nutrition and Food Sciences at the University of Vermont, assumed the role of President of the American Dairy Science Association during the 2021 ADSA Virtual Annual Meeting held July 11th through the 14th. He will serve as President of the Association for 1 year. Kindstedt joined the faculty at the University of Vermont in 1986 and rose through the ranks to full professor in 1995. Dr. Kindstedt has authored or co-authored 2 books, numerous book chapters and conference proceedings, and over 90 refereed publications. Kindstedt received 2 awards from the Association for his group's research in 1993 and 2018, as well as an award for teaching in 2008. Dr. Kindstedt has been a member of ADSA since joining as a graduate student in 1979. Kindstedt has served the association in many capacities over the years, most recently as a member of the ADSA Board of Directors, member of the Overall Programming Committee, founder and chair of the Dairy Foods Division International Partnership Program, and chair of the Board of Trustees of the ADSA Foundation.